What's good, Skids fans? So great news. We'll do the good news first, and then we'll do the bad news last. So the good news, everybody heard Dwayne Haskins getting his first start tomorrow. I'm excited for the kid, young Simba, man. I'm excited for the kid. It's time for you to step up, prove the haters wrong, prove the doubters wrong, prove the BS narratives wrong. It's time for you to step up, man. Dumb down that playbook, man. Dumb down that playbook because our plays don't work anyway. Everybody says our playbook is so complicated. We don't get any yardage anyway. We get 9 points a game. The Nationals score more points than us. It's crazy. The Nationals will score more points than us in a single game than what we score. So what's so freaking great about the offense? So disclaimer I want to put out before Dwayne starts tomorrow against the Buffalo Bills, which is a pretty darn good defense. I'll give respect to them. Just be patient with the kid. He's a rookie. I know a lot of people want to trade him, just like Josh Rosen, and draft Joe Burrow or Tua or Justin Herbert or whoever. Just be patient with the kid, man. He's going to make some mistakes. He's going to have the little pad on his arm. He's going to be reading, looking at it, staring at it. We're going to have to – I'm going to just let you know now. We're going to have to call either 1 or 2 timeouts for him. Or it's probably going to be like 1. I'm hoping 0. I hope the kid comes out there and I hope the young man just comes out there and is just ready to go. Gets the guys fired up. And then you know how Bill Callahan is. He's going to run the ball like 40 times. That's what he's going to do. He tried to do it to Case Keenum one time. He's going to just run the ball with AP 40 times. I already know what he's going to try to do. But he's got Scary Terry, man. Of course, Vernon Davis is out. We don't have a lot of weapons. But just use Scary Terry, man. Use Scary Terry. Paul Richards has got to step up. He hasn't really done anything this year anyway. Trey Quinn, Kelwar Harmon needs some more playing time. So if he can just use those guys, get the chemistry, get the reps down. Kevin O'Connell, I think Kevin O'Connell said Dwayne has been locked in this whole week. There's been reports that he wasn't locked in at all before. So, people just hating on my man. People hating on my man Dwayne. So we should see. My prediction stats. I want to hear y'all prediction stats for the game too. A lot of people saying 1 touchdown, 2 picks. I got 1 touchdown, 1 pick. I got him going 23 for 34 or something like that. Or it might be like 15 for 24. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. I got to throw in a touchdown to Scary Terry. And I got Scary Terry getting a touchdown, 100 yards. My fault. I can't call him Scary Terry anymore because he doesn't like the nickname. So my man's Terry. My man's Terry McLaurin going to get a touchdown, 100 yards receiving. I got AP getting like 80 yards. I still think we're going to take an L. So, I want the playbook to be a couple screen passes to Smallwood, a couple screen passes, dump off, stuff like that. Don't put him in a terrible situation where he's a shotgun every play. We just can't turn on the football. Don't fumble the ball like Case Keenum. Be strong with it. And one thing is sneaky about Dwayne. Dwayne is pretty athletic. He surprised me. I thought he was like a Byron Leftwich type body, like a chubby guy that's really, really slow. Dwayne actually can move his feet and get some yardage. He can actually run for a first down. I think it's supposed to snow in Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. So it is going to be, the weather is going to have an effect on the game. It's not going to be like that Niners monsoon game, the slip and slide game, but it is going to be, the weather is going to affect this game. So, and Dwayne's from Jersey anyway. He played Ohio State, so he knows how to play in cold weather. Should not affect him in a bad way. So he should be ready to go. I'm super excited, man. I'm excited for the kid. Like I said, just pump the brakes on hate. I will try to go live for the game. I'm going to try to go live. If not for the first half, starting for the first half, at least for the second half, because I do want to analyze the game and talk about the game with you guys and react and just see different things that we see and just different analysis live from the game, so we can talk back and forth and chop it up during the game while Dwayne is out. This is his first start, man. He finally gets to start. He's finally not thrown into the fire in the second half, third quarter, while we're down by 17 or down by 7 or whatever, 14. He finally gets a full week of reps in a fresh and a real start. So I'm super excited for the guy, man. I really am. I think he's going to have a good game. If not a good game, then at least a learning game where we can see what he can learn. And we have a bye week next week. So when we do play the team out, I can't remember who we played. But and talking about the Bills too, maybe their defense is a little hyped. Maybe it is a little hyped. I looked at their opponents. They played the Jets, who are terrible this year. They played the Giants with Eli, who were awful at that time. They're still a bad team. They played the Bungles, who are 0-8. They played the Titans, who benched Marcus Mariota. They played the Dolphins, and we know what the Dolphins are doing. They tanking it up. And then they played the Eagles and got their butts kicked at home, 31-13. So you can run the football on the Bills. You saw what Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders did. So we can get the running game going. Dwayne can do some RPOs, play action, stuff like that. Hit Sprinkle down the field a little bit. Hit Terry down the field. Trey Quinn, So the Bills can be beat. They can be beat. It's not like they're a brick wall or a steel curtain or something like that. I do respect the Bills' defense. And they do have my man Ty Nsekhe who left us. They got Cole Beasley on offense. John Brown, some speedsters, a wide receiver. Josh Allen has been very, very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. He's been pretty darn bad from what I've heard. I haven't really watched the Bills game at all, but I've heard he's throwing more picks than touchdowns. I've heard Josh Allen's been very, very disappointing. So I'm not really hyped up on the Bills, and they probably will beat us. I got them beating us like 24-17. That's if Dwayne only has a one touchdown, one pick, not throwing a whole bunch of picks like he has when he's coming unprepared in the second half. If he can just chill out on the turnovers and just stay poised in the pocket, then I think we should only lose by 7, 24-17. I think it should be a good game. We should have a chance. It's going to come down to the wire. I just think something's going to happen, whether the refs or something. Something's just going to happen. We just lose the game. It's just the Redskins. This is how we are. So I got us losing 24-17. I think Dwayne's going to look pretty decent. He's going to have some potential. He's going to have some bad plays. He's going to have some good plays. He's going to be up and down. You got to remember the preseason, he got better each game. Each game he got better. The Browns game, he was awful. The Bengals game, he came in through a nice touchdown pass to Robert Davis, threw a nice touchdown pass against the Ravens. He had a good game. He had some good games in the preseason. He just got better and better and better as the preseason went along. Now, I guess we'll talk about the bad news. Of course, we heard Trent Williams' interview, and I did write down some notes about it. I don't want to get into it too much because it's a lot of he said, she said. Right now, from the outside looking in, I do believe Trent. But there's more stories to each side. If you did hear, the interview, there's a lot of ping pong and stuff like that. So it was I'm not gonna say it was a funny interview, but it was a typical locker room interview where a lot of loud noise in the background, ping pong, playing, players yelling, giggling, laughing, and keying it up and stuff like that. Somebody in the background was like, "Preach 71, preach 71," hyping Trent up, telling him to talk the truth. So the players have his back. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the players and the majority of the players have his back. And then we'll talk about how Charlie Casserly went on TV last night, basically backing Bruce Allen and Dan, basically backing their accounts because they just hired a third, or the NFLPA is going to step in, and the third party is going to look at medical records. So that's why I just don't want to say too much because there's two sides to the story, and we're all going to take Trent's side because who in the world trusts Bruce Allen? Nobody trusts Bruce Allen, and if you listen to the interview, basically Trent said he has no problems with Dan Snyder, but he has a big problem with Bruce Allen. Every time they asked him a question about Bruce Allen, he said next question. He has the discomfort with his helmet. They asked if he wanted to be traded. He laughed at that question. Let's see what else he wrote down here. He did talk about the guaranteed money. He wanted guaranteed money. A lot of people are saying that he just wants the money. That's what a lot of people are believing. A lot of people are starting to believe that. A lot of people, of course, I think the majority believes in Trent like me. I'm giving Trent the benefit of the doubt right now, and a lot of there's a majority there's some people who are saying Trent just wants the money for real. That's a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are like, with the helmet fit if he was on the Browns, with the helmet fit if he actually got traded to the Patriots for the first round pick back in August or September, whenever that was. So it's something I don't want to get into because a lot of he said, she said stuff, Scott McLuhan-esque stuff, Kirk Cousins drama type stuff. It's a lot of BS, man. There's a lot of BS Redskins fans we have to go to. We can't even enjoy Dwayne Haskins' first start because we have to talk about Trent Williams and the bullshit that's going on, really, for real. I'm trying to think what else he said here. He did talk about the trade. 48 hours. Bruce Allen decided to listen. We all know that was BS and malarkey. He decided to listen to trade offers. Trent said that was vindictive. He thought it was embarrassing. He thought that Bruce tried to embarrass him, put him on the trade block. Really, with 48 hours left to go on the trade deadline, he thought it was something to make Trent look bad, like he wasn't really worth anything. I think Bruce Allen really messed this up from a health standpoint, and just for Trent's value as well. Of course, the health is more valuable. Trent did say that he had cancer. He said that the tumor was cancer. Remember, there were reports that people said it was benign, that it was not cancerous. And he came out and said it was cancer. He said that, he trusted in the team. He listened to them. A lot of people are saying, why didn't you get a second opinion? He's a 25-year-old guy. He listened. He just trusted in the team. Now, Charlie Casserly said that they did tell him 2 years ago to 3 times to go in and get it checked out. And Charlie Casserly is saying that Trent never took the appointment. So, it's like you don't know who to believe. You don't know who to believe. I feel like the Redskins are going to come out here and try to do a smear campaign like they try to do everybody with Jay Gruden with smoke and reefer. They tried to do a smear campaign with him. They tried to do a smear campaign with Scott McCloughan. I feel like the Shanahan's a little bit too. So, I mean, they're going to try to go after Trent. They're going to try to go after this man. Trent, I think Trent, you know, he knows, or he should have known what Bruce Allen's going to try to do to this man. They're going to try to do a smear campaign. You know, they're both calling each other liars right now. It's a standoff. It's an ego swinging contest right now, and I think Trent deeply believes in what he's saying. So, I mean, if he's coming out here and saying that they did not do the right things for him, then it's hard for me to say that Trent is lying. It's hard for me to say that. But like I said, time will only tell. It's going to take a few months for this to come out and be decided. But ultimately, I think the NFL needs to step in and fire and make Bruce step down and really make Dan sell the team. I think ultimately, regardless, whatever comes out of the story, I think they need to make them step down. I really think they need to make Dan sell this team. The team's been trash under Dan Snyder. And they're just making the NFL look bad. They're making the NFL look bad. They really are. They're making the NFL just look disgusting right now. Bruce and Dan are just awful. They just look terrible. Or whether this happened or not, they just look awful. They really do. They need to go, man. They need to go. Trent said he's not asking for a dime from the Redskins, but he does want a guaranteed contract. So, I mean, people are saying, you know, he should have looked in that for the guaranteed money for his contract when he first signed it a couple years ago. I think it was 5 years ago, something like that, when he signed it 3 years ago. So it's a really sticky, nasty situation here. It's a sticky, nasty situation. So from the outside looking in, Bruce needs to be fired anyway. He needs to be fired anyway, man. He needs to be gone. He needs to be gone. I think they need to force Dan to really sell the team. They need to do both of those things. Get him up out of here, man. Get him up out of here, man. So it's just a terrible, terrible situation, man. He did talk about how he couldn't save Jay Gruden's job. He said he felt like that was on him. Jay Gruden needed to be fired anyway. So it was an interesting interview, man. It really was. It was an interesting interview, man, for real. So ultimately, we just found out that Trent really, really hates Bruce Allen, just like all of us, just like the rest of us. He really, really hates Bruce Allen. So we all agree with Trent on that one. So we'll see how this unfolds, man. I really can't say too much until 100% facts come out. And you know the NFL, they're gonna probably band them together and try to go up against Trent. You know, I hate to see it, but you know how this league does players, man. You know how this league does players. So we'll see what happens, man. Hail to them Skins, hail to the Redskins, and hail to the Wizards, hail to them Nets, the champs. If you're going to the parade, let me know, man. I probably won't be able to make the parade, but I know it's gonna be lit. It's supposed to be cold today, but I know the parade's gonna be super, super lit, man. It's gonna be super, super, super lit. It's crazy. My family's going to the parade, but I won't be going, so it's going to be funny seeing them out there. So, but let me know what y'all think about Dwayne Haskins starting this Trent situation. It's a real sticky, nasty situation, man. Like I said, I got Trent's back right now. He's done so much for the team, for the organization. He's done a million more things than what Bruce has done for this team. So why would I even agree with Bruce? So we got to see when the facts come out. All right, y'all. Hail to them Skins, hail to the Wizards. All right, y'all. Peace.